program engages students ranging from middle and high school to graduate level in STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, focused activities to address real-world environmental challenges in our communities. This work meaningfully incorporates the use of technologically advanced systems such as unmanned aerial systems or drones, geographic information systems. With that, I introduce Jacob Draper and Justin Henninger.
So we thought we'd go really high stakes and see if we could do the whole presentation with the story map. So everybody keep the Wi-Fi and the screens and your thoughts. No, we're going to actually take it easy and start out with a quick view. It's full high risk.
Okay, Justin, say that again into the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We're going to start with a video.
My name is 𝐀𝐫𝐢𝐳𝐚 𝐆𝐞𝐞, the elected Chief Science Officer from North High School. So you might be wondering, why is a teenager here and what is a 𝐶SO? So we're student ambassadors hoping to spread our passion for STEM to our fellow students. At the end of this, you don't understand how much new information I learned about GIS. Of course, we're all middle schoolers and high schoolers, so a lot of the stuff just flew right over my head. No pun intended, but never did I think that most of the normal things I do, like marking locations on Google Earth or making a path on a hiking trail, is grown and expanded into something that can literally solve global issues surrounding conservation of nature. So through these 4 modules, it's literally exactly what we wanted to see. Being able to talk to the interns and the Green Drone project, we noticed how they captured GIS into something that they were passionate about. So
Well, thanks for having us. Everybody enjoy your lunch. I guess since we're here, we got a few more things we can talk about. I have to stand still and perhaps it's best if we start off with a brief introduction. My name is Justin Henninger, and I'm here with my colleague Jacob Draper. Jacob and I co-manage 2 projects taking place in the Phoenix metropolitan area. known as the Lower Salt River Restoration Project and Green Drone AZ. Now, Jacob and I have been lucky enough to be friends and work side by side dating way back to 2015 when we were an undergraduate together at ASU and working as interns on the Tonto National Forest. And we complement each other very nicely. Jacob does the drones, I do the GIS, Jacob makes the websites, I make the videos. We both plant trees and plant trees and plant trees. Perhaps most importantly though, our friendship has evolved to include a certain kind of creative process which allows us to constantly bounce ideas back and forth. It's easy to be friends and get the work done because we're united by an underlying passion for what we do that drives us forward. And Jacob and I work with a group of like-minded individuals at an organization known as Ecoculture, which is a nonprofit born out of Flagstaff and NEU. At Ecoculture, we develop landscape restoration projects that promote a culture of conservation. The core of our process is scaling up. There we go. The core of our process is scaling up landscape restoration and reforestation efforts in cooperation with local communities. And in doing so, we develop regional networks that incubate green jobs and entrepreneurs, educational programs that foster the next generation of environmental problem solvers, and design new technologies to increase restoration effectiveness. We feel strongly that this broad level of community participation strengthens the long-term sustainability of our projects. One great example of this type of work is the Lower Salt River Restoration Project taking place on the Tonto National Forest. Our team has been managing this project since 2018, following a wildfire that took place on the Lower Salt River known as the Cactus Fire. Instead of me telling you more about it, we'll just take a minute and check out one more video.
That's the guy. Does he got a name?
So as you saw in the video, in January 2020 we launched a project under the umbrella of the Lower Salt River Restoration Project called Green Drone AZ. And the project began as a collaboration between the Ecoculture team at NAU, the National Forest Foundation, the Boeing Company, Tonto National Forest, and Arizona State University. While we've developed many objectives along the way, the project was launched with the goal to catalyze and strengthen development of a broader generation of students interested in STEM. We aim to do this by teaching youth how cutting-edge technology can be used to address real-world environmental challenges within their community. And this makes perfect sense, right? Because the management of public lands and natural resources will soon fall into the hands of today's youth. And in case you missed the news lately, we've left them with a bit of a mess. By educating students on technologies such as GIS and unmanned aircraft systems or drones, Green Drone arms these future leaders with the tools, knowledge, and resources needed to successfully conserve our natural ecosystems. So we launched Green Drone AZ project with a dual purpose in mind: biological monitoring. This is really, just have to stay right here. Biological monitoring and educational outreach. We utilize drone technology to perform biannual monitoring of the LSRP site, and we wanted to explore an innovative approach that would mitigate the many challenges associated with on-the-ground monitoring. And quite honestly, we were just excited to learn what we could do with this technology. Vegetation classification, such as that as we see here, allows us to track changes in plant populations. This fine-scale data allows for a wide range of analysis, from landscape scale down to the health of individual plants. While we were excited to implement this technology into our monitoring efforts, Green Drone AZ presented a truly unique opportunity when it came to educational outreach. With regard to that outreach, the program seeks to, again, develop that broader generation of students interested in STEM, recognize and promote GIS as a crucial aspect in STEM education, engage students in topics of conservation, GIS, and drone technology, and we do this by developing and sharing state standards-based curriculum with middle and high school students. At the same time, we wanted to provide a creative space for graduate-level interns to perform analysis and gain experience in working with UAS collected data. And in doing so, these students can serve as mentors to youth, bridging the gap between secondary education and the professional world. And last but certainly not least, again, we just wanted to learn what we could do with this technology. So I hand it here to Jake, and he's going to talk about our target audience a little bit.
See if this is too loud. No? So who exactly are we targeting with this program? When we started Green Drone AZ, our target audience consisted of high school students in the Phoenix metro area. Green Drone was originally designed as an in-person experience where our team would travel to each school, spend about 3 hours delivering content and working through activities related to each module. It didn't take long before we were blown away by the level of interest expressed by both students and teachers, and it was very clear that they were hungry for an opportunity like this. Unfortunately, just 2 months into the program, everything was derailed by COVID. We were very nervous as everything unfolded and oftentimes thought this might be the end of our program. But then we realized, duh, we have the internet. So we quickly made the transition to get all of our content digitized and uploaded to YouTube and our website so students could remain engaged through the end of the school year. Over the summer of 2020, we connected with a group called the SciTech Institute and learned about their Chief Science Officer program. CSOs are students nominated by their peers to be ambassadors of STEM in their schools. We decided to host a summer camp with these CSOs to get their perspective of our online delivery. They helped us fine-tune our structure and even recommended using Google Classroom to host the program. Justin and I are not educators, and we never would have guessed that suggestions as simple as Google Classroom would have changed the program so much. By removing that in-person time commitment, this meant that we could significantly increase the number of schools and students without increasing our workload. So moving forward, we launched our first year-round online high school program in the fall of 2020. So what about middle school students? Well, during that 2020-2021 school year, our online presence began to grow and emails started trickling in from educators around the valley. We began connecting with teachers outside of the program and outside of high schools. After a few virtual interactions with middle school classrooms, we decided to expand our reach by launching a middle school program in the fall of 2021. Aside from students at the middle and high school level, Green Drone offers a unique opportunity at the graduate level. We knew right away that we wanted to engage with university level students and that a paid internship would be an all-around win for everybody. By working with graduate students, we saw an opportunity to bridge the gap from middle school all the way to the professional world. We also understood that working with drone data would be very exciting for these graduate students. Working with drone data is often sought after, but it can be nearly impossible to get into with no experience and lack of equipment. But Green Drone could provide this creative space for students to perform GIS analysis and gain experience in remote sensing with UAS collected data. So each year we offer a paid internship to students in the MAS GIS program at ASU. The students join the Green Drone program in spring, and the internship wraps up in August with the completion of their capstone project. These projects have focused on our analysis of the restoration work that we're doing with the Lower Salt River and assisting us with our outreach efforts, which has ultimately led to more growth.
In the United States, they don't have to imagine it, right? They can interact with it firsthand right there on the map. And this type of experience allows students to form personal associations that help to further their understanding of topics. Additionally, we can use web maps to share real-world data and let students interact with real data that's being collected on the LSRP. So while learning about differences in spatial resolution from varying aerial imagery sources, students can interactively compare UAS collected data to that of the National Agricultural Imagery Program, or NAIP. And the opportunities for sharing this real data are abundant. For instance, the conversation could easily switch from comparing spatial resolution to temporal resolution. Notice the density of trees in the NAIP imagery on the left. Those are a non-native tree called salt cedar, or tamarisk. In the UAS imagery from 2021, we can see the same area after treatment and removal of salt cedar, and what is left there are native mesquite trees. So one could easily kind of relate to which one of these imagery sources might be more meaningful or useful to a land manager. We can also use custom images and videos to complement discussion on topics such as remote sensing and the difference between active and passive sensors. By relating these topics to everyday objects like a handheld camera, complex topics can become quickly relatable. Now imagine for a second, you're trying to keep the interest of 100 high school students while explaining the difference between varying digital elevation models. Good luck. But with story maps, we can easily add eye-catching visualizations that accompany the narrative, perhaps sparking interest and imploring the user to explore a little deeper. Video lag, so I'll take a drink.